Ready?
Yep.
Initial impressions, bracket, got to look at it, some teams you've already played. Just thoughts going into March.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously always want to look and see who's in your region and stuff like that. For us, it's just one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but, for us, my 2 years here, we've lost to double-digit seeds. And not to say that we overlooked them, because I think we did pay them a lot of respect. And, we just, it's wrong time, wrong place for us, I guess, more so or less. We were ready to go last year. It's just being locked in and ready to roll no matter who we're playing. But definitely a lot of good teams in our region. 8-9 games really good. I'm excited to see that. I think Duke's obviously playing super well. Marquette's the same. You can go down the list with everybody in that region. Everybody's here for a reason. So,
what's the process now of handling these late game situations for you guys?
I think it's just doing what we do. Obviously we can clean some things up. But I think sometimes you don't always factor in I think the other team's desperation. I think that was more so the case obviously with Penn State, but with Rutgers as well. You're in that desperation, but Rutgers is really good at pressing and pressuring to begin with. So you got to give them some credit. But I think it's just being simple. Obviously making free throws. I missed some down the stretch. Just making free throws and being ready to adjust. I think Shrew's made some great adjustments late as far as going zone really late. It wasn't something that we probably expected, but I think it was something that threw us a little bit because when you're at that point in the game, it's just it's different than if he throws a zone at you, the first 5 or 10 possessions, because that's something you really thought about and worked on and knew. But then when he kind of throws it at you late, definitely gave us some problems, but it's not that we can't handle, so we just got to keep working.
What's the balance between being aggressive but then not being careless?
Yeah, it's a fine line again. Obviously you want to get buckets and be aggressive, but also you want to get good possessions and take as much time off the clock as you can. So it's definitely a fine line, and I think every game's different. But for us, not the way we probably wanted to end the game Sunday, but you get the win, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. So every game will be different and present us different challenges. So,
Ethan, question for you from the last press conference: Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
Okay, obviously life isn't just basketball.
Right.
So if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan growing up, who's your favorite player for Pittsburgh, and would you ever want to play football?
So I played football when I was younger in elementary school. It wasn't very long lasting. The contact probably wasn't much for me. That's why I stuck to playing quarterback. Favorite Steeler. I mean, the easy answer is probably Ben, just because that's who I grew up with, and just an unbelievable athlete, and I think really represented the city well. But I could go down the list, man. I think James Harrison's another one that's one of my favorites. But looking back at all those teams and the guys we got now, it's always fun because we're always competitive and it's exciting. So.
Thanks. It's going on the Steelers page.
Awesome. I like that question. Give me a little variety.
So, in the name of variety, if you gave Zach Edey 10 uncontested threes, how many would he make?
Hey, he shoots it pretty well. I don't know if the pressure would get to him in the moment. I'll give him 5.
You give him 5.
I'll give him 5.
Uncontested.
Yeah, uncontested. Nobody on the court, just him.
Have you seen him shoot threes?
Yeah.
Good.
He's got a smooth looking shot.
He does. He's got a good touch.
Yeah. I'd say 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I think he can make 4 or 5.
I think you're
Tell them to
undervalued.
shoot one in the
This,
game.
last summer, not this past summer,
Yeah,
but the summer before that, I think I saw him hit 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
When was this? I'm sorry.
It was 2
ago.
summers ago. Yeah. So I'll give him at least 4 or 5 for sure. Don't tell
Well, you
him.
went from 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah, don't give him too much money.
What would you do if he shot one in the game?
I don't know.
Probably be depending
You'd
on
want to
if
be
maybe-
looking at Coach Payne's reaction first.
or the shot clock.
Yeah, or the shot clock too. As you can tell by my face, I don't really know what my reaction would be. So hopefully that doesn't come up, or if it does, it's at the end of the game and we're winning by a lot. So
I know what your reaction was when he dropped the
Yeah.
F-bomb the other day.
Yeah. So
Probably
similar to that.
Ethan, have you ever gone or have you ever prepared for a game where you don't know who you're playing?
Yeah, it is a weird situation that we're in. I guess it is a little bit like the Big Ten, how we didn't really know till Wednesday night. So it's sort of a similar prep to our Rutgers prep this week. You have one day, and obviously the prep will be a little staggered just because you get the time at the arena for media, and then you go off and do some stuff on your own. So I think we're used to it because we did obviously that, and then just prepping with no practice this week for Penn State and Ohio State, and we did sort of the same thing in Portland. So we have some experience in that regard, but like I said, we're just going to buy into what the coaches say and what they put in front of us with the scout, and at the end of the day, just go out and be ourselves and play.
Going back to the three-point shooting, Fletcher's the national three-point shooting champion. He's hit a lot this year. How do you keep a guy like that confident? I know this team is confident in a shot. Is it just as easy as you got to shoot your way out of a slump?
Yeah, I think that's it, man. I think, like I've told people before, like it's hard being a fret. It's just hard having success in this league and at this time of year. So even as a younger dude, on top of that, things are hard, man. So it's not meant to be easy, But with these dudes, Fletch has a ton of confidence, and he knows we believe in him. And really, outside of I think some particular games this weekend, obviously Dave shot it really well for us. Outside of that, Brandon shot it well. The second game. Outside of that, I don't think we as a group shot it great. So I think it was a good sign for us to still be able to string some wins together, and just knowing that that's not always going to be there for us. But I think our effort and our defense will be there. So we're not worried about it at all. Though, like we said before, we have the dudes in the room to put in the work, and just going to trust the process whether we make shots or not.
How unique is it to see freshmen come in with that swagger, with that confidence from the get-go? Like they came in here expecting to be starters from day one, and they have been.
Yeah. No, their confidence is one of their biggest assets. Him and Braden both. It's great to have, and it's great to have this time of year. Especially for them not to be afraid of the moment. And I know they're not. They're ready. They're ready for whatever's going to get thrown at us here hopefully over these next couple weeks.
Going off that a little bit, obviously, when Fletcher did have his struggles during the Big Ten tournament, he continued to provide energy and camaraderie, from the sideline, whether it was you or Brandon or David, having success. Just how much does that speak to his maturity as a freshman year?
Yeah, man. Obviously, just his maturity as a person. I think he's super mature and he's just a great kid in general, and that's why he's here. Payne's done a good job of getting the right people in the room, and so he's just a good kid, man. And he just wants to win on top of everything else. Obviously, easier said than done because as a competitor, you always want to be at your best and playing well. And like I told him, every game's different, every situation is different, and for him he's always going to give effort. So for him to just play hard and support his teammates, I think is big for us.
Sounds good.